Okay, today's project of the day, I don't know if you can hear the rain, but it's pouring. I mean, everything's kind of flooding in my pathway and lawn. So, I have seen so many pictures of those various designer crochet bags, and I don't have a ton of cotton yarn, but I have this acrylic, so I figure if I do a tight weave in a small bag that wouldn't have a much weight inside of it, the acrylic will hold up. And again, it's washable, so if it's a small bag, I just carry a wallet and keys and phone in, then at least I can, get it dirty and clean it. Although you can do that with cotton. But anyway, this is all just leftover yarn, which nothing makes me happier than using leftover yarn. I don't know why, but I really think these colors go well together. I don't like red, so I left out red. But I have, you can't tell, but these are like, now you can tell, different shades of kind of browns and camel color. So I think that ties it all in. So if I put these interspersed between the bag, it'll tie in the rest of these colors. And I think there are at least, you want a couple muted colors and then some pops. And so these are the pops, which there won't be a ton of them, but enough to style the bag. So hopefully this turns out. I think I'm going to try it in the form of a Japanese knot bag, since they do have, just it's striping up the bag, and that's what I want to do. And then we'll see. I thought about doing the donut bag too, but we're going to start with this. And just because I think I would more likely use the Japanese knot bag, or someone else would want to purchase it, and see how it goes. I'm excited. This is what the bag is looking like so far. Look how cute. The colors I picked out, I would have not thought it would give me this like pastel candy type colorway, and I love it. So I'm just kind of randomly introducing new colors. Sometimes I'll carry it through just to add some structure. And so, like I've left this one hanging here, and when I get back to there, I'll pick it up again, and we'll just see how it turns out. This is the bottom of the bag, so I can kind of play with it for now and see how I like the colors, how they're going together. I did want to point out that it's not so random. So where I change the color, where you have to turn and increase instead of like relying on a stitch marker, I just changed colors. So I increased in these two spaces, 2 and 2. So that's my basically marker at that end. And then where I changed here is after the increases. On this end, there are 3 increases, 1, 2, and 3. And then I changed here so I can keep count of these single crochets. And then I have to increase in this last one, and that'll help me keep track for the next row. So that's one way to do it if you're doing a colorway bag. And that way you don't have to so much rely on the stitch marker, because you have the actual stitch right there. Also, this is how ADHD works. I came up with this multicolored stripe bag as I was finishing this project. So this, I don't know, I just saw something fall pop up, and then of course I thought of doing a fall bag. So isn't that cute? So I think I'm gonna do a mesh bag with skulls somehow. If you have ideas, let me know, because I really don't know how I'm gonna bring this together. I think maybe granny squares, and I think the granny squares would offer the same cute juxtaposition of skulls with flowers, and then a granny bag with skulls. That would be so cute. Coming after the other bag, if I don't get distracted mid-bag there either. I think, I don't know how I want to arrange these either. because I think the background of this would be the orchid and the flower will probably be orange. So we'll see. Anyway. Okay, so this got more tropical than I wanted because this turned, it's wool and the rest of this is acrylic, except for this green is cotton. So I didn't want to put too many different fibers in here, especially because I didn't want wool to felt on a bag, on the bottom of a bag. So I did the orange just to see how it goes. I don't love it, but it is the bottom of the bag. So I don't think I'm going to undo it because in person it looks better than it looks brighter on the camera. So we'll just see. And I've just been carrying through the yarn because other than these that I've left on to pick up later, I've just been weaving in the ends so that, or carrying through the ends, so that makes the stitches thicker and more sturdy. And then you have no ends to weave in. So like this tail, this I'll cut off and I'll carry it, you know, under this brown. You can see how I've carried other colors under that blue, and then it just makes it a little thicker. So this is a good base of a bag. But for the most part, I love these colors. I'm just not a big fan of orange or red, and I think that's why that color is bothering me. So I might just keep it on the bottom and just, you know, use up this color. This was for an old temperature blanket I made. And that gives me an idea. I could frog that temperature blanket. We'll see. Anyway, this is the progress. It has not stopped raining since I began. And it's been, I think, at least an hour. Okay, this continues to evolve. It looks like a rainbow to me. So we'll just see. I mean, I'm the one making this and it's still just surprising me how it's evolving. So now we're going up the sides. That's why it looks like it's curling. And now that I've cut off a lot of the yarn, you can see how just carrying in your yarn, you don't have to weave in any ends, and then you can just cut it short against the thing. And this will be the inside of the bag. So if you have a liner, you won't see that, and you won't see it anyway, it's inside the bag. And this will be the base of the bag towards the outside. So you just work in rounds, so you're always on the outside. Anyway, I'm just gonna continue to see how this evolves. All right, here's an update. I've just lost track of what day it is. It's the same day, but it rained for hours on end, and then I walked my dog and it was all flooded, but felt like lava, as our summers do. And so then I had a couple meetings and I made lunch. Like, I did a lot, and I did a lot of other things. I don't know if I got a lot done on this. Because this is single crochet, it seems to go slower, and I actually wish it was all single crochet instead of moss stitch, because as you can see, these stripes look really good here, and then it looks like moss stitch, but it's not the striping you want to get that, you know, the look of the designer crochet handbags. So then I started doing these double ones, and I think that looks better, and I wish I did it down here, but oh well. So in case you're thinking of it, so I thought I could make up for it by just doing, doing this every other row, but then it looked like this, like a zipper kind of look. And I didn't like that, and I made it look more obvious. And I also didn't want a frog, especially because I did so many color changes. But the most satisfying look in the inside. Nothing to weave in because I just did that as I went along. And I kind of want to make now like a little basket with this colorway. It looks so nice just at my entrance. That would look nice. But anyway, here we are, and I'm liking doing the double, so that's what we're gonna continue with. It looks brighter on camera. It actually looks way better in person. I do think I need to add more browns. I forgot about the neutrals. So I'm gonna do some stripes of that just to kind of tone down the clowniness of it all. But I like the look. It's a good summer handbag. I think even fall handbag. So I think I have probably, what is this? Not even 8 inches. So I have more than double to go. So I think I'll be doing this for the rest of the night. Okay, I got distracted, so I ended up with 3 rows here. I'm going to frog it, but for anyone who wants to make this, look how 3 rows look. So that looks really good. I feel like giving each color more density looks good. And I feel like I could work it up a lot quicker without so many color changes. So I think I would make one with just like maybe 3 colors or 3 or 4 colors and doing thicker stripes. I think I might make one like that and make it maybe a little more cohesive, although I like the mix and I like that I'm able to use up yarn. So I think I'm going to make a few more with all these colors, but you know, different colorways. And anyway, so I was supposed to stop around up right at this corner, and then we're gonna change to another color. It's probably time for some taupe and orange. I didn't put too much orange. I thought it would be too much, but I think orange looks really good with orchid, so we might do that. All right. I think I just gave an update because I went and had dinner, but I added in the brown stripes, and I think it just makes these other colors look better by adding that neutral rest between colors. So I've gone through loving this, hating it, thinking it's just okay with every few stripes. So I definitely do recommend, I mean, I do this when I paint. I just walk away and then come back an hour or so or a day or so later and look at it again. And I think that just helps get new perspective on it. What is happening here? I think I tied this on. I knotted it too tight, and so you can't see that stitch. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm in the liking it phase right now. We'll see how we end up. But I was going to measure, so it's supposed to be 20 centimeters, and I was thinking inches in my brain. So I'm closer to done than I thought. I have 4 centimeters left, which I think is a good bag size, because really all I have is wallet, phone, chapstick, keys. So I'm excited and I want to use this soon. I'm wondering if I should somehow wash this, wet it. What do you think, to soften it? I just don't want it to stretch too much. And I also have like this green and this taupe are cotton, and then the rest is acrylic, which I think helps with the sturdiness. The acrylic actually seems more sturdy than the cotton, but I don't want it to do some weird stretching. But I feel like I should also test it if this is something I'm going to make for other people. I think I'll spray it down and see and let it dry overnight. I think that's a good idea. All right, I'm gonna finish this up. I think it'll probably take me the rest of the night, and then I'll probably find some other bag to make. All right, we're getting a late start to our crochet morning. I worked on this till about 10 p.m. and realized this is the short strap, so thankfully I'm almost done with that one. But then there's a long strap, and I just didn't have the brain capacity for that because my stripes are going this way. And so I am determined to change colors consistently. I've just been going 2 to 3 instead of exactly 2 because doing perfect stripes didn't give the whole, mixed vibe. So I think just making it a little staggered looks better. I really considered just doing it all solid, but I had to stick with it. And I think it'll be worth it. This didn't take long to do. So I think, the longer strap is about 2.5 times longer than this. So I should be done with that in no time. And then I can use this bag. And the best part is, the only thing is this strap you do have to weave in or tie a knot cut, which, I don't know, it just seemed more complex than inside the bag. Inside the bag you could see it looks so perfect. Like you can't even tell where the string ended, except some of those. Anyway, I love it. I think it's worth it. And I want to do so many stripe patterns now on the knot bag. And I will. Okay, I don't know why it suddenly got dark outside, but so hopefully you can see. But to make this go faster, I decided to do magic knots. And then I measured, so I had already made 2.5 stripes with the yellow, but then I realized I missed a stitch. So I undid it. I measured out the yellow to see how much I used. And then I tied on my next color with a magic knot and measured that out to the same length and then stuck on the next color. And then I'm just going to continue doing that. And because I'm not trying to get specific, if it gives me 2 or 3, that's fine. So that way this will just go faster. I think it'll be much easier than trying to change, weave in, knot, things like that. So let's see how that goes. Okay, I feel like I've been moving in slow motion, but I think it was a good call just doing this straps randomly. It was less stressful that way than trying to get exacts. And that's how the bag was supposed to be. I just didn't like this moss stitch. Anyway, lots of mental notes for future bag. So these straps are the length it says I need. So it says to do 30 centimeters and 12 centimeters. So we're there. I think I'm going to make it longer. I made the body longer. So it was supposed to be 20 from the bottom up, and mine is about 23. That's where the bottom ends. And because this is acrylic and not cotton, I think it just needs more room. I don't know. So I'm just gonna probably add a couple colors to each strap and play with this, because I also don't want to make the straps too long. So we'll just see. And I'm also debating, like, I started this strap as yellow just to make it fade into this. And I'm wondering when I end it, should I end them both in yellow? I mean, doesn't even matter. I don't think it matters. But I also thought about making the two straps match, but then I purposely made them different, and I like that I did. I think that looks really cute. So I think I'm going to just kind of maybe slip stitch, see how it works, and then I can adjust the size. All right, testing this out. First of all, the colors look so good in this light. I just used some stitch markers to pin both straps down, and I think I don't have to add any rows. I think those measurements for the straps were good. This looks good. It's done. I love this bag. So it's about 24 centimeters from the bottom, 20 centimeters from the base to the edge. This is 30 centimeters. Or no, it's not. This is 15. The whole strap is 30. And then this is 6. Nothing to weave in. And then take this strap in here. Look how pretty. Oh my gosh. This is so pretty. If you can believe it, it looks better in person. And I actually like that I switched up from doing single crochet moss stitch and then kind of alternating moss stitch and then thicker moss stitches. It gives it more interest that way. So I am gonna play with some other patterns and stitches in this knot bag style. This is enough capacity for pretty big size wallet, phone, even a water bottle, and keys. So I'm excited. Really, all you have to do is look up Japanese knot bag. It's just that's the style of bag. It's like looking up hobo bag. But if I create any other style of doing it, I will show you because I'm thinking of making a way to go vertical stripes. I think that would have made the straps easier. And so I plan to do that. But for now, I think I'm going to just stick to this because I like it so much. I'm going to do some solid ones. And so stay tuned for those. And thank you for watching.